right, we're going to practice system equations, which is what we did yesterday in class, sorry. And then I do know for your test, there is going to be, next Tuesday is your test. For part of that test, you're going to have to send me pictures of the graph, and they are due the day of the test. So please be sure to take care of that. I probably won't have tons of those, but know that you need to have graph paper for that test. All right, my slope is 1/3. My y-intercept is -4, so I'm going to start at -4. And rise 1, run 3. Rise 1, run 3. Reverse it, down 1 to the left 3. Down 1 to left 3. And using a ruler or a straight edge or something, you need to make sure that you are drawing straight lines. Connect those points. Put arrows on the end of my line. And then let's look at the second one. I put this one on purpose because I still have people messing this one up. My slope, remember, there's an imaginary 1 right there. So my slope is -1, but I'm going to stick it over 1, so I have a rise and a run. My slope, my y-intercept, remember there's an imaginary +0, so 0. So I'm going to start at my 0, and my movement for my slope, okay, you're going to have to tell me that on tomorrow's homework. Your movement is either up, down, left, or right. So I'm going to go down 1 and right to the right 1. And continue that pattern all the way through. This one gives me a lot of dots, which is good. That means my line is really pretty accurate. Your homework for tomorrow, you are going to have to send me pictures because there are graphs. So I don't know any other way. I can put a box out front. You can turn it in that way if you would rather do it that way. But you need graph paper for tomorrow's homework. And this you're not turning into me, so if you're just doing it on a piece of graph paper, that's fine. If you printed it, that's fine. All right, so my solution is always going to be a point. So here's my intersection. 1, 2, 3. So my x value is a -3. My y value, 1, 2, 3, is a -3. So there is my solution. Sorry if I'm going really fast. I'll slow down on this one. I'm really sorry. All right, go ahead and copy down number 2 if you need to copy it down. All right, so for this first one, my m is a -2, which I'm going to stick over 1. And my slope is a 2. My y-intercept is a 2. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to put my dot at my 2. That's where I begin. And my movement, -2, tells me to go down. And that 1 tells me to go to the right. So down 2, right 1. The opposite of down 2 is up 2. And the opposite of right is left. So I'm going to go up 2, left to get my reverse points. All right. Is that graph? Graphing is really hard to check, and I'm sure it's been kind of difficult for you to look and say, I can't 100% tell if I'm doing it right. That's why I'm making you send pictures to me of Thursday's assignment. But small secret, graphing is one of my favorite things to do. But that's just because I'm a math nerd. Just let it be. All right, so my slope for the second one is 2/3. My y-intercept is 2. I'm hoping that you're like my students here at school. My students at school are doing a great job with slope and y-intercept. They're doing a great job with graphing. They're understanding it really well. So I'm hoping you are the same way. Got 2, my movement tells me to go up 2 and to the right 3. Up 2 to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. The reverse is down 2 and to the left 3. As always, if you have questions about any of this, please email me, message me, text me. I want you to understand. I want you to be successful. Okay, there's my 2 graphs. I can see there's a nice intersection right there. So my x is on the 0. My y, it's at the 2. So the solution to this system is 0, 2. Alright, next one. I'll give you a second to copy it down if you need to. Alright, so my slope is -2, which I'm going to stick over 1. My y-intercept is 4. So our movement is down 2 to the right 1. So I'm going to do that until it fills up my graph. I do require my graph to be filled. The reverse is up 2 and left. As I told you, I think in yesterday's video, when you get to high school, you will be looking at end behaviors, how graphs, like what the ends of the graphs are doing. And so it's important for you to extend that graph all the way out. All right, my next one, my slope, there's imaginary 1 there. It's 1 over 1. My y-intercept, remember, I can add a plus 0, 0. I'm going to start at 0. My movement is up 1 and to the right 1. Up 1, right 1. Oh. Shoot. I'm sorry. Actually, I think I wrote these, so I think I actually made a mistake here. I know I made a mistake, but I think I just didn't finish writing this problem, actually. But it's a good question to talk about anyways. Sorry. Sorry if you jumped ahead and tried to work them, because I messed up. So as you can see on this one, it crosses at a not so pretty place. And that was because it was a mistake on my part. I actually have a hard time coming up with these kind of problems. So I apologize for that. So for this one, on a graphing calculator, we could find that exact point. But for now, we're not. But we know that there is one solution. So we're just going to leave that one blank. Sorry, guys. But you got to practice graphing 2 lines. Man. All right. Go ahead and copy that one down. And that is a plus 3 for both of them. All right, so my slope is 5 over 1. My y-intercept is 3. On tomorrow's homework, you're going to have to tell me both of those plus the movement. So my movement is up 5. 1. The reverse of it is down 5. And to the left. And connect. And that's a really steep graph that confused some of my kids in class the other day. Think of it as a mountain and you're climbing up this. So imagine you're a little person. That's a very steep climb. Let's hope I didn't make any more mistakes. I know this one doesn't have a mistake. Alright, so this one starts at the 3. We have a slope, -2 over 1. y-intercept of 3. So start at the 3, and I'm going to go down 2 over 1, 2 over 1. Keep that pattern going. Reverse is up 2 into the left 1, up 2 to the left 1. Sorry, that was me dropping my ruler. Made a very loud noise, so sorry. Maybe it wasn't that loud on the video. Connect it. I see there's a nice intersection. It looks very familiar. So we have x is 0 and y is 1, 2, 3. I do like giving some examples of where it crosses on the axis because we really have a hard time as 8th graders knowing that that point is 0, 3. We don't know if it's 3, 0 or 0, 3. So it'd be nice to have that one as a note. All right, let's look at this one. My slope. I'll give you time to write it down. Sorry. All right, so my slope is 1/2. My y-intercept, -6. 4, 5, 6. And my movement is up 1 and to the right 2. They're both positive. And then the opposite is down and to the left. Sometimes I call it the reverse. Sometimes I call it doing the opposite. I don't think there's an actual name for it. I guess think of it as just working in reverse. All right, the second one, my slope is 1/2. My y-intercept was 1. Now, if you remember anything from yesterday and it having a common slope, then this should be an easy one. But let's go ahead and start at my 1. My movement is rise 1, run 2. Reverse is down 1 to the left 2. And I'm going to copy. I can see there's no intersection, but let's go ahead and make sure it's parallel just for our own. Yep. So these are parallel, which means there's no. Sorry, I didn't realize that wasn't on there. No solution, because they're never going to intersect. Parallel lines never intersect, so they're never going to cross. All right, if you go ahead and copy that, the next one. All right, if you don't have it copied, just go ahead and freeze it. So let's do m equals 3 over 1. Our b is -4. I'm going to start at -4. And my movement is up 3 and to the right 1. The reverse of that is down 3 and to the left 1. All right, our next one has a slope of 6 over 2 and a y-intercept at -4. So we have common y-intercept. I don't like putting a dot on top of the same color dot, so. And I'm going to go up 6 and over 2, up 6, over 2, And we can see that it fell on the same line. And so the answer to that one is infinite solution. Infinite solution, because every single point on that line is a solution. You could have also seen they have the same slope. 6 over 2 simplifies to 3. And they have the same y-intercept. All right, so there should have been a second sheet. Starts off with 1/3. So these we're going to practice doing by ourselves. So what I want you to do is I want you to find the slope and y-intercept. I want you to pause this video, find the slope and y-intercept for both of those, and then unpause it. All right, you should have already paused it, and you should have gotten 1/3 and -3. And you should have gotten -2 over 1 and 4. So now I want you to pause, and I want you to graph both of those lines. All right, you should have them both graphed. -3. And this should be your first line. And our dots are connected. So be sure you're doing that. Connect that one. Okay, so you should have had those both drawn. And so let's look at our solution here. 1, 2, 3. Our y value is -2. All right, I want you to do the slope and y-intercept for the next one, and I want you to pause and push play when you're done with it. So you should have gotten m is 1/5, b is 2, m is 1 over 1, and b is -4. So let's go ahead and graph it. So I want you to pause, and I want you to graph this, and unpause when you're finished. All right, so this was another one that I messed up on. I'm sorry that I messed up on this problem. It was off the graph again. So I'm sorry about that. I told you I was really bad at coming up with them in my head. All right, so I want you for the next one to push pause. And I want you to go ahead and find your M and your B. And go ahead and graph it. All right, you should have gotten a slope of 4 over 1 and a y-intercept of -2. And then for the second one, a slope of 4 over 1 and a y-intercept of 5. All right, so let's graph them. I want you to go ahead and graph them. And then when you're done, look and see if you got the same thing. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the video, but your graphs should look like that. We can see that they're parallel. So there's no solution. Again, I am sorry about the couple that I messed up on. I'll make sure your homework ones are not that way. All right, we've got 3 more we're looking at. Three more. So there's your 2. So I want you to tell me what the slope of y-intercept is. Pause the video and push play when you have it. All right, you should have pause and push play. So we have a slope of 3 and a y-intercept of 0 and a slope of 1/4 and a y-intercept of 0. So go ahead and graph both of those. If you need more time to graph them, go ahead and pause the video. If not, that's what you should have gotten. And our intersection is right there at what we call the origin, which is 0.00. All right, the next one we're going to do together because it's kind of different. Y equals 3, y equals x minus 3. So this one doesn't have a slope. Because there's not an x there. It does have a y-intercept of 3. Well, this one has an imaginary 1, so its slope is 1/1, and -3. You can always think of this one as, if x is 0, y is still going to be 3. If x is 4, y is still going to be 3, because no matter what, y is always going to be 3 for that one. So it is a horizontal. It has a slope of 0. And our next one has a y-intercept of -3 and a slope of 1/1, which is a movement of 1 up, 1 to the right. I am going to be asking for that movement. Movement is up and down and then left or right. Right, and we can see a good intersection there. So that intersection point is, our x value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our y is 1, 2, 3. So that is our intersection. All right, the last one, I want you to pause. I want you to do the whole thing. I want you to do slope, y-intercept. I want you to graph them, and then I want you to tell me the solution. When you're done, unpause the video, and the answer is going to be up there for you. Hopefully you tried it by yourself. There is our solution. They were parallel. We can see they have the same slope because when I simplify 2/6, it simplifies to 1/3. All right. Hoping you're understanding. If not, shoot me an email or have your mom text me. You all have a good day. God bless you.